Hey, I haven't done an Unwitch Wisdom in a while because didn't really have anything to talk about until recently. And then today I spent lots of videos trying to suss out what I wanted to say and what I wanted to talk about. And I finally hit upon this idea of two truths, that two things can be true at one time. And those two things may seem to be in opposition, but that doesn't make them any less true. Because truth is really reflective of the person who has the truth, right? And if one person thinks something is true and they forget that something else could be true for someone else, then that's where conflict begins to be created, right? My truth is this is the way it is. But when you meet somebody, you might find that they have a truth that's a little different. And that doesn't make either of the truths wrong. It just makes them different. And the example I wanted to give was I was in line returning something after Yule, and I was in line with three other women. We were in a terminal line. We were in that line a long time. And one of them mentioned New Orleans, and then that led to the three of us discussing where we were when we heard about what happened in New Orleans and how that affected each of us differently. And it was a really congenial conversation about a shared experience that was really traumatizing to the three of us, even though we weren't even there. And then one of the women said, well, what we need is more truth. And we, of course, know what that truth is, speaking to myself and the other woman in this little three-way conversation. She said, the truth is the way, the truth, and the life. What she was mentioning was a Bible verse that says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except by me. That's what she was talking about. So what she was saying is what we need is more Christians. And that if we had more Christians, then things like what happened in New Orleans wouldn't happen. Which is a direct, in my opinion, kind of dig at the fact that the person who was accused or is accused of carrying out this attack was Muslim or was allegedly Muslim. And I kind of checked out of the conversation. I was very taken aback by that comment and very kind of upset about it. And finally, I interrupted and turned around and said, do you know what else is a truth? And the woman said, no. And I said, the truth is that the United States was built upon freedom of religion. And that just because someone has a different religion than you doesn't mean that they're bad. And that bad people exist in all religions. All of that is a truth as well. The woman very quickly tried to backpedal, and it was my turn to check out. So I turned around and I left the conversation. And what I said was true, right? Like, it's true that bad people are just bad people, and they're everywhere. They're in every religion. You can't say that one religion has no bad people. That's not true, right? You can't say if everybody were one religion, then we wouldn't have these problems. That's not true either. But you can have a sincere belief that if people became Christians, harmony would happen. That may be your belief. That doesn't make it everyone else's belief. That doesn't make it everyone else's truth. So, two truths. Two things can be true at the same time. It's one of the fundamental, in my opinion, fundamental witchcraft laws. And in fact, it is part of the laws of witchcraft and the axioms of witchcraft. If you look those up, that is going to be in there. So that's what my Unwitch wisdom is today. Just because you have a truth doesn't mean that it's universally true. And just because someone else has a truth doesn't mean it's universally true. But it also doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that it's different. I'll do another post about when things go wrong. I hope you have a magical day.